Good to go. Hard work doesn't always pay off, at least not in the way that you or I might think it's going to. But today I want to share a story with you guys about me learning this exact lesson and why it's one of the most important lessons I've learned in my career so far. My fiancée Felicia and I had been on the road for almost a year eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Obviously, this was not the only thing we were eating, but it's undeniable that peanut butter and jellies are some of the best hiking food that exist. But anyways, we were in Guatemala, this beautiful country full of amazing culture and people, incredibly dense and thick jungles, and of course, volcanoes. "37 to be exact. So naturally, we hopped in a van and we decided we were going to hike one of the most active out of all those 37. We had one singular mission in mind, for both of us to witness our first volcanic eruption. But of course for me, just witnessing it was not going to be good enough. I needed to capture this moment perfectly. I feel a bit of a mixed bag of emotions when it comes to these situations in my life. On one hand, actually witnessing the event through my eyeballs and not through a screen is really important to me. Nowadays, you see so many people at a really arbitrary event like a fireworks show, and everyone is recording the entire thing. When was the last time you actually watched a fireworks video or even a concert video on your phone for that matter? I'm gonna guess it was a while ago, maybe never. Although, on the other hand, I'm an extremely nostalgic person. I love making memories and capturing those moments. Making videos like this, share with people I love or people I don't even know. And so that was what I set out to do with this trip. Or at least that's what I thought my intentions were.
Felicia Baggins.
We were told by a lot of our fellow travelers that the hike was pretty easy. But the combination of high altitude and us not being in very good hiking shape,
15 minutes in and already sweating balls.
It certainly didn't feel very easy. But just being out in nature and meeting loads of new, interesting people felt really good.
Volcano?
Coffee here?
She's just got a nice hot coffee.
And that's where the first lesson I learned comes in. Would you still be doing what you're doing if there was no reward at the end?
How you going, Maud?
Yeah, going strong. We're going strong.
Going strong.
Let's say someone came to me before we did this hike and said, no matter when you go or what you do, you are not gonna see this volcano erupt. You're not gonna be able to capture it. Would I have still gone on the hike? Yeah. I can get so caught up in the prize or the quote-unquote carrot being dangled in front of me that I actually forget the most enjoyable part a lot of the time is doing the thing.
Oh, nice. What's your name?
Juan Carlos.
Juan Carlos?
Yeah.
This guy is also, you can spot the YouTuber by the mic.
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber from here, Guatemala.
Oh, you're Guatemalan too?
Yeah.
That's even cooler. Local Guatemalan YouTuber. Hell yeah.
We finally made it to our base camp for the evening, and still all I could think about was the erupting volcano.
We are going to do a hike to a closer viewpoint of the volcano in about 1 hour. Pray to God we see the lava.
We're going to see lava. Don't worry.
So, after unpacking everything into our luxury indoor tent, 5 out of about 40 of us opted for another 3 to 4 hour hike. We packed our bags, and off we went. Now, this second hike was actually to get us from our base camp all the way onto the active volcano, which sounds kind of insane, but who doesn't want to see a volcano erupt from the volcano? But this is where things started to get a lot tougher.
That is where we're going. Can you see the little dots there? That's where we're going.
With sore legs, sore feet, and freezing cold hands, we carried on.
What's your name, bro?
My name is Nadia.
Nadia. Chichi!
We approached the viewpoint filled with excitement. After all of our hard work, finally we were going to get the payoff we were looking for. Well, this was the payoff.
Pretty cloudy still. Now we've kind of found a little ridge here. We are hoping that the clouds will clear.
This is, of course, where I learned lesson number 2. Sometimes doing hard things is fun, but only because they're hard.
But unfortunately, the fuego is completely shrouded in cloud. As you can obviously also hear, it is super, super windy. I can barely feel my hands. But sometimes in life, you just feel good that you did something. This is one of those times.
But the difference is, I didn't actually really believe it. In fact, that's why I made people stay for an extra 10-15 minutes in the freezing cold up on the top of this volcano. I cared more about getting a video or photo of this eruption than I actually did everybody's warmth, including my own fiance. So we slowly headed back down the mountain, more sore and cold than ever, realizing that our efforts had not been rewarded with the beautiful show we were hoping Mother Nature was going to give us. And then, just as we started back up the other side, I'm sitting there watching this in disbelief. The volcano's cleared, there's no clouds, and here it is, an amazing, beautiful eruption. My camera wasn't ready. I didn't get the footage. This was actually from back at the campsite. From that point forward, we basically sprinted as fast as we could, probably encouraged by me to try and get back so I could capture some of this. We arrived back at camp to some warm meals and some smiling faces, but I immediately borrowed a tripod from one of our new friends, and I waited. While I waited patiently by the fire, I was blessed with not one, not two, but 3 eruptions. And as much as I thought I was going to be prepared for each one of them, none of the shots turned out as I hoped they would. Honestly, I don't know if any shots would have satisfied me at this point, because some of these aren't bad. Just not as good as I hoped they'd be. And that brings me to lesson number 3. Hard work doesn't need to pay off. What I remember about this trip wasn't just sitting there beside the fire trying to record this volcano. It was having new experiences with my partner and new friends, challenging ourselves and enjoying a new adventure in a foreign country. As I sat here thinking about why capturing this moment or capturing this erupting volcano was so important to me, I realized it wasn't about having a more vivid memory of this experience, or what I was trying to do was not for myself. I was trying to impress you. I was trying to impress the world. But why? For what? I don't often preach things on social media or here, but when I occasionally do, it's generally also me reminding myself to remember these things, trying to drill it in my own head so that when situations like this come up, I don't forget. Comparison and envy can be the death of someone in this new age of social media and content creation. And this was a moment that I needed a reminder of that. Take photos for you. Use video to capture moments for yourself for your own happiness. No one cares if you capture the most beautiful image of a volcano. No one cares. No one cares.